All right, good morning, party people. We are going to, we're not going to the library, they're not open yet, but it's close. And we're not going to the town hall, not just yet. But we do owe the town hall some taxes for the car. We're not going there. It's a beautiful day in Newington, Connecticut. Feels like 70 right now. It's gorgeous out. Hey, look, there's the moon. Ugh. What kind of budget do they have for the moon this year? Right? I don't know about all that, but we're gonna go observe. We're gonna exercise our First Amendment right to I don't know, just look around. Right? Just gonna observe our public servants in action or whatever. Because obviously they serve we the people and they don't serve a satanic pedophile regime, right? Is that much is probably obvious, right? Back behind the town hall is the Newington Police Station. The Newington Police Station likes to violate people's rights. They like to just roll up on your property, unannounced, uninvited, acting off of what someone else said. Why can police just show up when someone says something, right? Someone can say anything. But then when I say things, the police, they don't respond in kind. They don't show up, right? They definitely don't show up. You know, when I ask them to investigate something, I mean, they might show up, but they're not going to take anything that I say seriously. But when someone says something about me, they take it like gospel. You know what I mean? I don't really think anyone's going to give me a hard time here. I do think that most of the officers that I've encountered are probably reasonable people, but there are for sure some corrupt people that work here. There's no doubt about it. So, you know. I don't know how close I'm allowed to get to the building or what have you. But this is, you know, I'm like seated out here. There's sidewalk. Seems pretty public. I could probably go up to the building and record, but I don't know. I figure if I'm way out here, it's like it's not even a conversation. Probably going to be a boring video. It's like before 7 o'clock in the morning. And I don't even think I'm capturing license plates. So like even if there were personal vehicles in the lot, and I don't know if that's a crime either. I imagine if you could see it from the street, clearly it's not. What do I know? Well, just as the family courts are a crime scene and they should be treated as such, the police stations are absolutely a crime scene and they should be treated as such. Newington's a pretty quiet town. I don't know the exact population. If I were to speculate, and I have no idea, I've never looked this up before, but I don't know. I feel like there's probably over 50,000 people in town, but I don't, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's right. Maybe it's half that. I'm not sure. Wonder if they have gay pride flags inside. I don't think so, but the courthouse where I go in Northampton, Massachusetts, definitely has gay pride flags on their doors in the courtroom. Not the doors, I don't think, leading into the courtroom, but people's offices. And I had noticed previously they had a bunch of flags all over the building. Now they have less, but they're still up. Obviously, that's nothing against the, I would say, gay pride movement, but more against the, right, the symbols and the badge, right? Same way with law enforcement, same way with the gay pride movement and the symbolism and the people who attended those rallies and said, "We're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children." Obviously, that's a movement because the family courts are trafficking children. The Westfield Police Department will not check on my son, will not do a wellness check. I've seen my son for 2 hours this year. But the Newington police show up to check on my son, right? When he's with me twice in 72 hours. No problem. Show right up. Well, it is very quiet here. I think we're gonna go over to the fire department. It's not too far away. We'll take a walk over there and check out the HAPS. You know, it's really encouraging to see all the people who are like the First Amendment auditors, right? The people that go out and they film their interactions with law enforcement and whatnot, and uh, and they exercise their rights and they educate the officers, and sometimes they bring lawsuits against the police because the police are, well, corrupt and aggressive and break the law, basically. you uh, so that's encouraging, and I hope that more people are educating themselves and learning about our fundamental rights and the supreme law of the land, which is the Constitution. Because if we do not have rights, and we obviously don't right now, like that, they've been trampled on. And you can make the argument that even putting our rights into words is constrictive of our actual rights, right? But the closest thing that we have to, maybe a type of logic is the Constitution, and that's even sad in and of itself. But according to them, that's supposed to be the supreme law of the land. So, what are all these codes and statutes, ordinances, rules, what have you, right? Fake laws, how do those come into play if they are violating our rights given to us by the Constitution? How does that work out? So, you can make the argument that all the laws are pretty fake and gay if they um, trample on our own rights, right, from the Constitution. Like what? Like they shouldn't be allowed to make a law that's against our rights in the Constitution, right? If a law violates our constitutional right, that law, it should be null and void. So I don't know. It's past time that we learned our rights and exercised our rights, and held people accountable, obviously. Pretty quiet here in Newington on Thursday morning, June the 4th. I think today's the 4th. I don't know. Could always come back in another time and check stuff out. But like I said, um I don't think no matter what time I'm here, I don't really, if I'm this far away from the building, I don't really see Newington police giving me a hard time. Um it's a pretty busy area, right? You got the town hall and the library right there. There's a park across the way that a lot of people go to. This is a pretty trafficked area. No pun intended, and they definitely need to arrest the child traffickers. Um, that much is apparent. So that's an obvious question for law enforcement, not just Newington police, but all the police. Why are people being arrested for something they said online, but Jeffrey Epstein's pedophile network is still running the country and the world? Right? Just basic logic stuff. Nobody's buying it. Everyone's fed up with your bullshit. You guys need to do your jobs, honor your oaths, stop protecting pedophiles. Uh, it's not okay. I personally have sent a litigation hold to Newington Police for their participation in violating my rights uh, when they came onto the property and trespassed. Um, so they have a few days to respond, and then we will proceed with formal filings. I think it's the Superior Court. Is it the Superior Court or is it something else. I don't know. Gotta look up the right place to file my grievance. And then we're gonna name the individuals responsible and see if we have a constitution, right? I wonder where their cameras are. I imagine this whole place is cameraed up, right? Probably around the whole town. I imagine every town's got cameras everywhere. I would imagine. All right, let's go see the fire department. This is Newington, Connecticut Police Department. All looks pretty well and quiet on the outside. And like I said, I think most of the Newington PD are probably okay, but there's 100% some corrupt officers here. And, it really is all of them, right? I mean, because if there are good officers and you're not holding the bad officers accountable, what does that make you?